lovely to see you. Oh my God, I've already got 8 thumbs up. Wow, it's lovely. Lovely to have you here. Miss M. Hello, Miss M. Lovely to see you. I tried to come into your live before, but I came in, I said hello, and then it ended. But well done. Good to see you, Miss M. I have put notifications on, Miss M, so if I am up, I will be... Yes. Yes, I put notifications on as well, Miss M. Kathleen, maybe around 3-ish or so, but I don't want to interfere with your live. Oh, Kathleen. Hello, my love. Welcome in. Good to see you all. Wow, the chat's already moving so quickly and we've just begun. Debbie Sue. Hello, sweetheart. Good to see you. Wow, look how much chat there is. How am I going to keep up with all of this? How am I going to keep up with all of this? So much like my grandmother then. Reese. Hello, Reese. Good to see you. Welcome in, my friends. Right, let me get back to the bottom of the chat. Now, Kirsty, your bug spray. Love it. Absolutely love it. Not spray. What am I saying? It wasn't a spray. But you know what I mean. I'm thinking bug spray because there's bugs and I've got spray in the laundry. But yes, I like that. Oh, Amanda says her live was glitchy today. Oh, that's okay, Miss Sam. You've got to test these things. You've got to work it out. I mean, my first 10, 20 lives were an absolute disaster. And occasionally I still have a live, which is an absolute disaster. I mean, you've just got to look at that one I did a couple of months ago with the sheep shearing. And then when I uploaded it, it uploaded sideways. So if you're looking at it on a phone or a tablet, it's fine. But if you look at it on a television, it went sideways. I wasn't overly impressed. So it doesn't matter, Miss M, like how long you've been doing it. Even people that have been doing lives for years, sometimes just have a day where everything turns to shit, basically. So no, it's all good, my love. It's all good. We're all learning. Local reviewer and chat. Hello, Clayton. Welcome in. Tiffany, welcome in. Heather, hi. Lovely to see you here. Oh, it's so lovely to see you all. Thank you so very much. Gosh, look how many people are here. And everyone's talking and saying hello to one another. It's so wonderful to see you. I'm just trying to catch up. Trophy, hello, my dear. Happy Tuesday morning here in Australia. Tuesday morning. It is about 9:40 on Tuesday morning. And it looks like it's going to be another fine and warmish autumnal day. So yes, that will be nice. And it's nice for autumn, you know, like it's unusually warm. Sometimes we can have fires going every day in the house from like March. So this is quite unusual. You know, you can get the odd day in autumn, which is like this, but it's been consistent. And like the grass out there in the garden, I mowed it only last week and it's like that long now in spots. So everything's just growing and growing and growing still. And the plants are very confused. I think we're all confused, really, if I'm honest. And it is a bit of a worry for, like, I'm already a little bit stressed about what summer's going to bring, like, because it's fairly dry too for autumn. When is the cold weather coming? I know, Trophy. Well, I do believe, Trophy, I looked at the weather forecast yesterday and it said that Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we were going to have rain. Not necessarily cold with the rain, but we were going to have rain. And that will be lovely because we do need it. I mean, I was pumping water yesterday, and usually I only need to pump water in summer, the height of summer. Um, but it's quite unusual to still be pumping water at this stage of the year. So let's just hope that the coming summer is going to be a nice wet one and a cool one. Let me catch up here. Trophy says lots of rain Sunday and Monday apparently. Yes, I know, I can't wait. Clayton says I moved my yard first time yesterday for the beginning of our spring season. Oh, lovely. That will be good. You're going to be growing some veggies and things. Local reviewer Clayton says rain Wednesday night and Thursday this week for us. Oh, good. Well, I think we all need some rain. High Plains Camper, my homie. Ah, good to see you. Hi. What's up? Sheesh. I've been practicing the sheesh. How's it going? Hi. I can't get the how's it going bit, but the sheesh and the hi, I've got that, my love. We're doing well. Heather in Iowa says, I just moved my grass last week for the start of the year. Lovely. Bobby Moser, I'm glad you got... Well, yes, it's coming today, Bobby Moser, and it's good to see you here. It was meant to come yesterday, and technically it did, but I rang them on Friday and said, can we... because they wanted to know when to deliver the refrigerator. And I said, can you please bring it on Monday after 1 o'clock? Because before 1 o'clock, the gates are all going to be locked and yada, yada, yada. And then at 10 o'clock yesterday, Monday, I rang them to confirm that we were all on track for our after 1 o'clock delivery. And they said, oh, we came up to your place this morning at 9:30 and the gate was locked. And I'm thinking, no, you know. So, but I rang on Friday and I said after 1. And they said, oh, well, we didn't get that bit. So they clearly got the Monday part of the message because they turned up yesterday. But they were about, 4 hours early. So the gate was locked. So they took the thing all the way back into Mansfield. And, which is a little bit annoying. I mean, it's okay. It's still coming. But it's a little bit annoying because I'm getting the floor stock, so it's not in a box. So I'm a little bit worried. I was a little bit worried anyway about it being brought up here, not in a box, because it's got that, well, it won't have that extra padding that you need, when it comes in a box with foam and all that sort of stuff. Only now I found they've already brought it up once and taken it back. Goodness only knows how they went sort of trying to do a U-turn with a big truck in the driveway. That would have been interesting. And I'm glad I wasn't there to see it, if I'm perfectly honest. But it's coming today. So after the live, about an hour after the live, theoretically, they will be here. And I've rung them up and I've double checked and they're all good. And yeah. So today I'm going to have a fridge. Woohoo! Be the first time in about 5 or 6 weeks I've had a fridge, so I'm pretty excited about it. So that's my fridge story. Clayton says veggies and lots of flowers. That will be lovely. Grant's faithful. Hello, sweetheart. Good to see you. Yes, the fridge. How is the fridge? Yeah. Hopefully it will be good. I'm looking forward to it being here. Everyone is saying hello to everyone else. I tell you what. Sheesh. I tell you what. I'm getting there, Steve. I'm getting there. I'll keep practicing. Hello. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. I'm just catching up. How am I doing, Steve? Am I getting it sort of, am I getting close? Hi, husband, says Amanda. Amanda is foraging and urban farming. And hi, husband is Larry, and Larry is Old Hillbilly. So Old Hillbilly must be in here somewhere. Dagwood, hello. I was on some of your lives this morning. You seem to have a few of them going at once, I noticed. But I was there lurking in the background. But at one point there, I thought you had 3 or 4. I don't know whether I was imagining it or it was some weird glitch on my computer. But I had a couple going. Wow, so many people here. Yes, Old Hillbilly is there. Good to see you. D-Man, hello, my love. Oh, the Mafia's coming. Oh, that is so good of John. He's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. Thank you, D-Man. I do appreciate it. High Plains Camper says, Susan, how much watch time do I need to hit 3K? About 600 hours. This time last year, because it's how many hours you make in a 365 days. So it's how many hours you've accumulated in a year. And this time last year, I was very quiet on YouTube because my brother had passed. So I wasn't uploading videos. I wasn't doing shorts. I hadn't even started doing lives then. I didn't do my first live until the 23rd of September. So I was very quiet in YouTube this time last year. So I'm getting really good hours now, but because I wasn't getting really good hours this time last year, the last 2 weeks, my hours have been sitting pretty stable. So like I'm not losing any, but I'm not gaining a lot in my daily watch hours either. And that's because last year I wasn't getting many. But, you know, it won't be long. I reckon, 4 weeks maybe, or 5. And I mean, this time last year is when I put out my Anzac biscuit video. So I did get a video out in late April. So hopefully that will help as well. Ellie Gregory, hello. Welcome in. Yeah, so I'm sitting sort of around 2,400 to 2,500, depending on, what day of the week I have a look. But we're getting there. Look, it'll all get there. Moxie Man, hello, love. Who this is? I'm a fan of a fan. Welcome in, Moxie Man. It's lovely to see you here. Joy. Oh, thank you. Yes. It was well overdue. It was probably about 10 months since I'd had it cut. So, yeah, I'm glad. I feel much happier with it now. Everyone is saying hello to everyone else. Whoops, I dropped my phone. Moxie Man says, what a nice woman do so far. I'm glad I got sent here. Well, thank you. I think I'm pretty nice. I try to be pretty nice. She is getting close but needs watch hours, I believe. Yes, Amanda. Look, it'll get there, though. It'll get there. Crystal, welcome in. Lovely to see you. Now, if you haven't given it a thumbs up yet, please consider doing that. Of course, if you don't like me and you're not enjoying the live, well, you don't have to. I'm not going to force you to. But if you are enjoying it, please do. At some point, we're going to take a walk around the farm because that is what we do on a Tuesday. There's just so many people coming in. Aren't we? Welcome. Good to see you here again. Do live streams count towards watch hours? They most certainly do, Trophy. They most certainly do. I need some more rasp in my voice. Yes, I know I do. I know. Look, I'll practice, and in my next live, which will be, I don't know, Thursday. Usually Thursday I do a bit of a thing in the garden, but we'll see. But definitely Saturday. But in my next live, I'll have it there. Trust me. Every good actor or actress needs to work on their vocalization. You know how it is. Okay, let me catch up. Can't be long now then. No, let's hope you're right. I've complimented Susan's live stream twice. You have, Moxie Man. Thank you. That's awesome. Compliments are always good. We all love a good compliment, don't we? Shaz Sylvester, welcome in. How am I going to get to do my farm walk? Ellie Driver is here too. Hello, Ellie. I'm trying to keep up with this. Honestly, the chat's going faster than I can read it. Tracy, welcome in, Tracy. How wonderful to see you. I watched, getting caught up on things. Someone said, oh, it was Amanda, says, I watched your live stream playlist, Susan. Thank you so much. I'm going to be returning love to all of you as soon as I can. I've just been so busy. Every day is so busy. And I have been watching many of you on my television at night because that's what I do. I like, once my working day is done on the farm, I come inside, I cook dinner, we eat, we put the TV on, and we just watch YouTube all night. We don't watch. Oh, very occasionally we'll watch a Netflix movie, usually on a Friday. But for the most part, we watch YouTube, and I have you running on the TV all night. But of course, it's very hard to leave comments and likes and things. But I do watch most of you. Those of you who have channels and put up content, I watch you all. Brun, welcome in, my friend. I got your parcel, but I'm not going to open it until next week because my birthday is next week. So I'll open it on a live next week. But thank you so much. It's incredibly heavy, isn't it? It'd make a good doorstop. How are you, Brun? And how is your knee? Because you were having trouble with your knee, I remember. I'm going to try and make Anzac biscuits. Those biscuits, yes, they're lovely. Just don't overcook them, Heather. Undercook them because they do harden a lot as they cool. It's a plan. No outsies. You keep doing the lives and have us supporters jump on your playlist. Let's get there. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Clayton. That's local reviewer. Clayton is local reviewer. High Plains Camper is Steve. Heart's Humble Homestead is Kirsty. Foraging and outdoor farming is Amanda. Everyone is here. Wow. And my chat is not coping. I promise you, Susan, I'm going to help the best I can to get you monetized. Thank you, Moxie Man. It'll happen. It all does. Good things come to those who wait. Natasha. Hello, my love. I spoke to you. Yes, I remember. Natasha. Lovely to have you here. Thank you very much for coming in. Well, I suppose we should, oh, wow, we've got 33 here and 32 likes. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. John is here too. Hello, John. Hello, my friend. It's so good to see you. Thank you for sending over all of your friends. I do appreciate that very much. Brun says, my knee is much better. I'm glad you got the parcel. Yes, it's a heavy one. I'm currently baking quiches for my freezer. Yeah, I love quiche. Quiche is good. I hope your quiches go well. Flo Farm is here. Hello, my friend. There's Kathleen. I'm listening to you on my TV as I rest for a bit. So I won't be communicating. That's okay, sweetheart. I hope you have a lovely rest. How am I ever going to get to the bottom of this chat? Peter, Old Man King, hello, hello, welcome in. Rebounding with Cheryl is here as well. I'm losing the ability to speak. It had to happen. Nina Faithful is here as well. Thank you for being here. Gosh, everyone's here. My goodness, I've actually got to the bottom of the chat. I've got there. Hello, hello. It's so good to see you all. Wow. Wow. I'm just so amazed. I'm just so amazed at all the love. Yes, Clayton, that's it. So many amazing people here already. Let me put on my hat. Thank you, Moxie Man. Well, listen, folks, now that we've got to the bottom of the chat, oh, an S, thank you. I hope that's for super. S for super. I have a Superman mug, which is my mug that I tend to drink my tea and coffee out of during the week. And it's a Superman mug, and it's S for Super Suze. So, yes, S is a good one. Shall we go and look at some animals, my friends? Because it is our farm walk around day. And I've got my battery pack here all ready so we can go for a walk. How wonderful to have you here. So you're gonna get to look at my bottom half there just for a moment. We'll get, oh my God, the battery pack's so cold. It's so cold. Ah. Let's go. Let's go, says Clayton. All right, we're going. We are going to have a walk around the farm. And I'll turn the camera around so you can see, because you don't want to be looking at me the whole time now, do you? So we'll do that. There's the garden with the incredibly long grass. It was only mowing last week. Tweet, you can hear all the magpies and things warbling. That's where we were just sitting. Hey, Laurie. Is Laurie here as well? Welcome in. There you are, Laurie. Welcome in. So good to see you. You can see we're getting some autumn colour is starting to come in now, which is good to see. Oh, thank you, Moxie Man. It's so good of everyone to come in and keep me company. We get to have a nice walk around the farm, and it's so lovely. I do enjoy. I have people to keep me company while I wander. Emily, Mbug, welcome in, my friend. It's so good to see you once again. You've come back to see the cows, my love. I hope you're doing well. It is stunning, isn't it? You can see all the like the pin oak here is starting to get, actually I'll back up. If I tilt the camera, my phone's going to have a hissy fit and go, oh, you're trying to rotate it. But you can see we're starting to get a little bit of colour here on the pin oak. Kirsty from Hearts Humble says, if I have missed sharing your channel, please let me know. Chat is quick today. Isn't it, Kirsty? Wee says, happy to see everyone here. Peter from Old Man King Homestead is happy to see everyone. Yes, Frenchie Frostbite is here. The cows. Yes, it's the cows. There they all are, scattered around the paddocks. But first we'll go and feed. Hit that like, says Steve, High Plains Camper. Mbug is saying hello to everyone. How are you, Emily? And Moxie Man says, it's me typing excitedly. Sorry, folks, I'm overly happy. Don't apologise for that, Moxie Man. Happiness is a wonderful thing. be happy. Be happy. And embrace it in all its glory. Look, there's a hay shed with not a lot of hay in it. Now we're going to feed the chickens. We'll start with the chickens. I managed to save 5 of them. We had a fox come through last week, folks, and I lost my roosters. I'll just take my battery pack off away because I have to put down the phone and the battery pack so I can use 2 hands. But yeah, we had a fox come through and we lost quite a few hens and all the roosters. But I've got some still, so I'll just feed them and then we'll go in and we'll watch the meeting. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Hello, my children. Hello, hello. What? 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. All right, out the way. Out the way. Okay, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'll put my battery pack back in my pocket and then we'll head through chickens. Oh, yes, I know. Now let me get over here where we can see a bit better. And there's some of the chickens that are left. So we got 5 left. Oh, where's the sun? I've got to get into a better angle. So we've got 2 of the red ones left, which are Isa Browns. We have 2 of the ancient white leghorns and 1 lavender araucana. That's Bonza, mate. Let me catch up with the chat. Oh, I know, Heather. It was horrible. And Quill, my beautiful, remember the beautiful black rooster, Quill? Yeah. We had a fox cull in our area too, says Brun. I know, Miss Emma, it was horrible. Well, look, thank you very much, Moxie Man. I will have to purchase some because usually I put eggs in the incubator, but I've lost all my roosters. But we're in our autumn currently, so it's not really the right time for chickens laying eggs here anyway. But in the spring, I will purchase a few more. But thank you so much for asking, Moxie Man. I do appreciate it. There they are. Unfortunately, these ones that are left too are like those 2 white ones. I mean, honestly, they must be coming up to like 8 years old. And that little silver one, which technically we're supposed to call lavender, the lavender one, I mean, she must be about 7 or 8 as well. So the 2 red hens are the only 2 that are still actually laying eggs, and all the ones that were taken were all my younger egg laying crew, the whole lot, everyone, and it was all the old ones that got left. So clearly the fox had taste. M Bug says, I am a baseball fan. Rushing Wind Mountain, hello Ruby, how lovely to see you. Everyone's saying hello. Yes, Flow Farm, it wasn't good, but it happens. It's been a long time. I reckon it's probably been probably 8 or 9 years since I've had a fox attack here. Ginger nuts. Now that's Neil, isn't it? Ginger nuts. That was your name, wasn't it, Neil? I'm very good with remembering names. M Bug says they are French cows. Well, they're actually British white. The breed is British white, but everyone calls them French cows because I talk to them in French, or I call them in French. Bobby Moses says, I'm so sorry for your loss, your rooster and hens. Thank you, sweetheart. I do appreciate that. But, you know, it does happen. Chickens are crybabies. Everyone is saying hello to everyone else. Yes, welcome into everyone. Wow, there's so much here. How am I keeping up with this? This chat is just incredible. If I'm here, blame Willie, says Ginger Nuts. So sad, 2 tragedies here recently too. Oh, I'm so sorry, Flo Farm. That's terrible. Stony Television. Birds, says Stony. Welcome in, Stony. It's good to see you here. I don't know your handle. I don't know if you've been in here before, but welcome in. We are a lovely little community. Everyone here in our chat is very nice. There's a bird trying to eat my shoes. The older ones were wiser and tougher. Yeah, yes, they were. Eggs are not good baseballs. No, you're quite right. They're not. I think he gets most from me, Neil. Laurie from Soul Circle says, I love my chickens so much. They bring me much joy. Love your ladies. Thank you, Laurie. Amanda says, that's funny. The fox got the chicken tenders. Oh, no. Oh, God, no, I shouldn't laugh at that. But, yeah, that you were right. You're right. Mrs. G. Hello. Welcome in, my friend. It's so good to see you. How old can a chicken get, says Bobby Moser? Well, look, I know a few years ago, Bobby, I had a hen that was about 12 or 13 years old, and very occasionally she would still give me an egg too. I mean, it was only like one a week or one a fortnight, but I suppose if you look after them well and they've got good genetics, they just keep going. I know, Amanda. I mean, it's not funny, but funny. Yeah. British cows, says M-Bug. Old chickens can go and go. That's right, they can. Mr. Rooster, R.I.P. He was a beautiful boy. He was so polite. My big black rooster Quill. Yes, the older they get, the production drops. Good grief, it is your first time here. I thought it was, Stony. Well, thank you so much for visiting. We're going to be going for a bit of a wander around the farm. We usually start off with the chickens, but wow, can you hear the cockatoos? All right, let's go and leave the now children. We'll go out and leave the chickens to their thing, and we'll go and see what's happening on the rest of the farm. No, I can't believe you want to come out. Get your feet out of the way. All right, so we'll shut that, and then we'll go for a walk out here. I cannot keep up with this chat. How wonderful to have you here. If you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, please consider it. If you're not enjoying the live, then don't. You don't need to. But it would be lovely if you did. Can you hear the cockatoos? Hear that squawking? They are white cockatoos that you can hear. Very noisy birds. Where are they? They're flying around over here. I only have 5 left now, Em, because the fox got into the chicken pen and took a few last week. So I've got 5 hens left and no roosters. He took all my roosters. Susan this is great for those who have never had any dealings with farms and little to no knowledge of this lifestyle. 35 thumbs up. Woo, that's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, okay. Oh, no, that's okay, Emily. You weren't to know. So here's some cows. They sound crazy. Cockatoos, they are crazy. They're absolutely nuts. And they do crazy things like try and eat your house. They love eating things. Like veranda banisters and things like that. Look at this lovely, lovely tree. This one here, I think I showed it to you last week, is a liquid amber. It's called Festival. Now, if I tip the phone, it's going to tell me that I need to rotate it back. But it has all these amazing colours. It has oranges and reds and yellows, and I have a few maples around the property, and they're all different. Look at that. Oh, Mrs. G says, welcome in Stony Television. You'll love it here. It's a cool farm community. Yes, you will, Stony Television. And thank you very much for the compliment, Mrs. G. Now, this tree has lost most of its leaves now. Remember how it looked last week? It was looking so lovely. It says, eyes, I show you a woodshed. You don't really want to look at a woodshed, do you? Look at that. We've just got a nice carpet of yellow underneath, and we've still got some leaves on it around this side here. Look at them, aren't they beautiful? Look at that. Moxie Man says, hang on. Stony Television says, pretty colours. Yes, they are. M-Bug says, how many acres is your property? Between 167 and 168. Like autumn we have here. Yes, exactly. That one over there is a maple, yes. That is called Festival. This one over here is a golden ash. Yes, I love autumn. Amanda's never seen a cockatoo. Well, look, I'll hopefully we'll get to see one today, because they're always squawking around the place. There's my woodshed. Very exciting. Let us go and have a bit of a walk. Wow, a lot of farm ground. Very lucky. Yes. Look, smile. Are you smiling, people? Smile, you're on camera. Now, of course, we will have the usual problem of trying not to get eaten by cows. Hey, Angela. Hello, my love. Welcome in. Good to see you. Let's get this gate open. I'll try not to attract too much attention. What we'll do is we usually try and walk up the top there so you can see the view of the mountains. And then, if I get this gate shut, we come back down and we look at the sheep. Over here is one of my little sheds. You can see it. Oh, actually, you can't really see a view over there. I'm too low in the paddock. So walking. This little shed is where the sheep park themselves at night, and it's also where my milk stanchion is for when I milk a cow. So there's a milk stanchion in there. Steve says, so cool seeing fall in the southern hemisphere and spring up here at the same time. I know. Isn't it incredible? Really, Mother Nature is just incredible. Everyone is saying hello to Angela. Moxie Man says, how easy is it to go live? I want to show you all those crazy stuff here. Well, yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Stony. I do appreciate that. Let us walk. Local reviewer is asking Moxie, how many subs do you have? You need at least 50 to go live. Jay Sparky says, hi Susan, so happy to be able to join you for a walk. I know it's been a couple of weeks, hasn't it, Jay? I mean, you did pop in last week, but you were working and you weren't able to stay long, but it was lovely to have you pop in. So let us walk up this hill. Brian from Brian Drums. Hello, my friend. Welcome in. My daughter has been watching your channel, Brian. She wants to learn drums. I don't quite know what to think about that. Here we are in our nice, peaceful homestead. My daughter wants to learn drums. I could probably build her a shed somewhere, couldn't I? Well out of the way. But you've inspired her, Brian. So if I never get to sleep again, I'm blaming you. You see some of the mountains? Yes, I am. I'm in the future as well. So it must be about 10:15, I believe, on Tuesday morning. All right. Oh no, the cows have spotted me. They're coming up. All right. Well, in that case, we're going up further. We'll walk up here. I always love stopping by to say hello. Well, thank you, Brian. Ace. Hello, Ace. Welcome in, my dear friend. So good to see you. I was up here yesterday pumping water. I had to climb up on top of the tank because the filter was blocked. And I was trying to pump water the other day, but all the water was overflowing out of the filter instead of going into the tank. Moo. So yesterday I had to climb up onto the top of the tank to get to the filter, and that's a two-person job because exactly where I need to put the ladder, a wombat dug a hole last year, which is really unfortunate, really not a good spot. And all right, let's get through the gate. Any kangaroos? Not seeing any at the moment. Kangaroos or deer. Quite often see them up here. Can I get this gate shut? There we go. Let's see, are there any kangaroos? No? Oh, we love you, says Brian. Stay blessed. I'm just catching up on the chat. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Jay Sparky says, been very busy with work and life in general. Yeah, I'm hearing you. Oh, Brian, tell her I can give her some lessons on Zoom. Oh, dear. No, all right, Brian, I'll let her know. Oh, look at them. They're unhappy because they missed trying to eat me as I came through the gate. That's Thunderhoof. They're all going to run up now and tell me how annoyed they are. Have fun in nature. Hello, Tiffany. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in, my friend. Ruby from Rushing Mountain is here. Everyone is here, even the cows. Sheesh. Excellent. So elegant. So elegant. So yes, this one here on that one, that's Thunderhoof. She's the troublemaker. She's the one that likes to eat my clothing, and she tries to eat the cord which connects my see, the troublemaker. And she tries to eat the cord that connects my phone to my battery pack, and tries to eat my shoes, and tries to push me over. So yeah, and then she sort of gets everyone worked up, and then they all want to have a go. There's always got to be one. Oh, you're going, Brian? Well, thank you so very much for coming in. I very much appreciate it. Oh my God, look at my ears. Okay, let's walk. We're up here, so we may as well have a little bit of a walk. Which direction should we go in? We could go over to the hay shed and look at the water tank. We could have a little bit of a walk up there. Wow, so much mooing. So much noise. Yes, so much noise. We'll head this way for the moment, and I'll see what... Kirsty is an angel, you're right. Oh, thank you, Brian. Mega shout out, says Brian, to High Country Homestead. Well, thank you, Brian. I very much appreciate it. We all appreciate you too. And my daughter appreciates you because she loves your drumming, and you have inspired her to take up the drums. And that's got to be a good thing, really. It will certainly keep you fit. All right, so that's the tank I had to crawl up yesterday. And I'll show you where I had to get up. So if we go around this side, so when I pump water, the water goes up this pipe that you can probably barely see, and it goes in the top up there. But down there, you can see there's lots of rubbish piled up. I've got bits of concrete, and there's a tire and all sorts. And that's where I've got to put the ladder. So I've got this like 40 centimetre gap over a wombat hole where I've got to balance a ladder, and then I've got to try and climb up. And the ladder only sort of, well, it's very unsteady. So you sort of do need two people, because you need someone to hang on to it, because there's no way to put the ladder down steadily and safely. Here's our hay shed, which ideally should have a lot more hay, but doesn't. But something's better than nothing. Look at that. That's a nice rural view, isn't it? Well, we got 30 people in the house, 51 likes. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Very good people over here from all over the world. Yes, Yes, indeed, Moxie Man. We have a really lovely group of people, and from all over the place. I have friends from Denmark and England and Finland and all sorts of places in here. Flo Farm says I was a minute behind. You're only a minute behind. Yeah, they do love to talk. Susan, can I call the cows? Yes, I will. But Jay Sparky says, I love cows, but horses scare me. I will call the cows, but I'm not going to call them just yet because I need to walk all the way through that paddock to get back. And if I call them, they're going to chase me. And then they're going to get very upset with me because I'm not feeding them, say, a loaf of bread or something like that. There's Panda, who's still in the paddock, which is good to see. And I don't want to be eaten. I want to successfully traverse my paddock. So when I get to the bottom, I will call them. Amanda says, I used to call the cows with my grandpa. Oh, what a lovely memory for you. Yes, this is the troublemaker, Mrs. G, Panda. Yes, Panda likes to escape, Heather. And there was a time there where he was escaping like 2 or 3 times a day. And he just pushes through it. Why are they going nuts, says Moxie Man? Oh, just because they saw me. They're excited. They're thinking, oh my God, there's a person. And if there's a person, something must be happening. So they're just excited. Let us see if we can get back through, though. They love Susan, so they talk to her. Well, yes, there is that too, Amanda. It's true. It's true. Everyone loves me. Except Thunderhoof. Or maybe she does and she just has a very strange way of showing it. Good God. What a funny sound you made, Panda. All right. Alice in Chains, they come to snuff the rooster, yeah. Where is naughty Panda? Yes, he is a naughty boy. She should have one for all of us. Sorry, what's that, Clayton? What should I have? A name? Well, some people do have names for their, you know, like John from Driving Daily has the driving mafia, the Daily Mafia. So maybe I should have a name. Who helps you run this farm? There's a lovely friend of mine who generally comes up on a Friday, a man called Kevin, and he comes up on a Friday, and he's in his mid-70s. But, oh dear, this is going to be fun. And he has access to some tools and things that I don't necessarily have access to. And so he helps out on a Friday. Oh dear. All right. The black one there is Coco. The white one is Ernie. This is going to be a very interesting walk. Very interesting indeed. All right, let's see if we can get this gate shut. Yes, I'm shutting the gate. All right, I think I'll go around this side of Coco and avoid Ernie the bull. Oi, don't you dare. Very carefully walk past Thunderhoof, while making sure not to make eye contact. You don't make eye contact with Thunderhoof, folks. So at the moment, I'm just ignoring them until we get a little bit lower down in the paddock. And also, if I get lower down in the paddock and they suddenly decide to start running, at least I've got a snowflake's chance in hell of getting to the gate before they do. It's only a small chance, but it's a chance. And you've got to take what you can in life, don't you? All right. So far, we're doing okay. Oh, that's Thunderhoof. Thunderhoof's not happy. They're not happy. I'm just catching up here. Everyone is here. Moxie Man says, folks, if you share the stream, you will possibly get more love. Ah, lovely. Brian. Hello, Brian. Welcome in. That is Brian HFIN Tog. Hello, welcome in, my friend. I don't think you've been here before. It's lovely to see you. I love Susan's tours. All right, well, I do too. I love them more when I'm not being chased by cows, and luckily we're not at the moment, but here we go, folks. Enjoy this view. Look at that. Oh yeah, they'll chase me, especially if they're in the mood, Em. They know you now. Yeah, they do. Alexander is here. Hello, Alexander. Alexander Lapp says, I'm pulling weeds and won't be able to chat much. That's okay. I hope you're having so much fun gardening. Gardening is fun. Well, sometimes it is. I will admit that sometimes gardening is not fun, but it's mostly fun. The paddock we were just in, up there, if I was to walk to the top of that paddock, the views from up there are absolutely incredible, like way more incredible than this. But look at it. All you can see for miles and miles and miles is mountains. And it doesn't get much better than that. Or aliens, says Amanda. Yes. Yes, sometimes you can see some strange things in the sky out here. It is the truth. We love you, Susan. Oh, you love me. Thank you. That's so awesome. Well, I love you all too. I love you all just as much. Because without you, we wouldn't be this little community. Look at all the autumn colours. A name for all your cows, for all your subscribers. I think I've probably got more subscribers than I do cows, though. That is a problem for me. But yes, maybe we should have a name for our little group. Like some other channels have names for their little group. But what would we call ourselves? What would we call ourselves? Chicken coop. The coop. The coop. Moxie Man says the older folks like to help. They do. They do. And Kevin, back in the day when he was working, he used to work for Victorian Forestries. So it was sort of his job to sort of like, you know, chop trees and drive bulldozers and excavators and things like that. And when there were bushfires, they'd be cutting tracks into the bush to try and create fire breaks and things like that. So in terms of his physical strength and knowledge with using equipment and chainsaws and felling trees. You know, he's got a lot of knowledge to impart that is just fantastic. You know, so older people have so much wisdom to impart, don't they? Yeah, there we are. Okay, you can see me now briefly. Yeah, I just find older people have so much wisdom to impart and so much history. And like, I'm someone, I love history. I love, you know, myths and legends and old wives' tales and yeah, or anything connected with the past. I'm sort of really quite interested in. Whoops, we'll get into the shade a bit here, I think. Just turn you back around. There we go. Ernie is beautiful, says Kirsty. He is, he's a lovely boy. Ernie the bull. Ernie the bull is the father of the calves that were born earlier this year. Well, actually, was it this year? Yeah, I think it was like December and January. Yeah, it's a lovely spot here. You hear the cockatoos. No, I'm not door dashing. You're quite right, Moxie, I'm not. Tiffany says a voice and mind of their own. I love it. Yes, yes, very much so. Very much so. I can't keep up with this chat. Isn't it incredible? Wow, says Joy. His eyes, I believe, says Amanda. Brian says Thunderhoof. Yeah, she's called Thunderhoof because she likes to run at people. And so you're out there in the paddock and you hear this thundering of hooves behind you and you sit there and go, oh shit, she's coming. And then you've got to start running. Well, not always. You've got to sort of pick your moment. Sometimes if you run, that just gets them even more excited because they think, oh, we're playing chasey. And they'll run even faster. And, you know, you might have one or two cows running at you and the others like happily grazing, you know, and then you start to run, which gets the three that are chasing you more excited and they start kicking as they run. And when the others see that, or they think, wow, this looks like so much fun, let's join in. And they do. And so you've got to sort of judge the moment and decide whether you're going to run or stand still and hope that you've made the right decision. We're going to have a look at a wombat hole, folks. Remember I tell you about the wombat holes that are so big that you could hide a body in them? There we go. How's that for a wombat hole? So it's probably dug down about a metre. The entrance is at least a good metre below the top of the ground there. And then underneath there's probably like a rabbit warren of tunnels all through here. And if you drop a tractor or a car or a quad bike, or the grass is long in summer and the cows or the sheep don't see it and they fall in, not good. And the thing is, you fill them in and by morning they'll be emptied out again. It's like they're impossible to fill in, really. You need to get a backhoe and like completely destroy it, not just fill in the entrance. So we're walking. See a few more trees down here. The silver birches at the wooden gate there are going yellow, which is nice to see. A little bit of autumnal colour. Over the other side there you can see some sheep who are wandering off. They're very old sheep now. It's what's left of my once very large flock of black Suffolk. Some of the black Suffolk in the day won first prizes at shows and things. But then I stopped doing sheep because I need to try and make the farm earn a little bit of money, because I don't earn any money from any other means. I sell eggs to my neighbours when I've got enough eggs and enough chickens to provide the eggs. And in a good year, I can, if I get enough hay, I can sell surplus hay. And this year I thought I was going to get a lot of surplus hay, and I was so excited because I thought, oh, it'll be the first time in like 2 or 3 years I'll be able to put money into my bank account. But the hay is cut, and it looked fantastic. I mean, it really did. The hay looked fantastic. But then that was the very day that the fires started, the bushfires, and it was very hot for weeks and weeks and very windy, and the government declared a total fire ban for our entire state. And when it's a total fire ban, they're not overly keen for agricultural machinery to be sort of working in super dry conditions, because sparks can happen which can start more fires. So the cut grass, the cut hay, just lay here in this whole paddock for about 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, and it just dried out. You can imagine, for those of you that use dehydrators to dehydrate things, you know, put a few slices of tomato in your dehydrator for 4 weeks and see how it turns out. So by the time it got raked into windrows and then baled, there wasn't a lot left. Ugh. Look at that, folks. I managed to get through the gate without zapping myself on the electric fence. So let me try and catch up. My place is a Rex's Flow Farm, but it's squeezed in small space. Well, that doesn't matter, as long as it gives you everything you need. Is it almost breeding time? Not for us, at least, Amanda. I don't know if that question was directed at me, but it is our autumn, so no. Lovely kitties. Oh, kitties are beautiful. Brian is the other half of have. Ah, okay. Okay. Now I understand. Okay. Now I know who Brian is. They call me the other guy. The other guy. Tog. Okay, I get it. See, it took me a while, but we got there. Local reviewer Clayton says, I hit some turbulence, but I'm back. Mrs. G says, the cats are outside, of course. They act like a pod of orca whales, and they're very territorial. Flo Farm says, every time I watch here, I'd like to be farming more. High Plains Camp says, Brian, I tell you what. Snapback, hello, my dear, welcome in. Snapback says hello to the chat. How are you, my friend? Gosh, I cannot keep up with this chat. I am so sorry. I mean, look, I'm pleased. I mean, it's lovely that you're all here. It's fantastic. But I can't keep up with you. I can't keep up with you. Now, where do we want to go, my friends? My grandma Amanda says, my grandma had 140 and I ruled that place every summer barefoot. Wow, barefoot and dirty. Yes, that would have been fun. Moxie Man says 1.3 acres makes one American football field. Oh, wow. I hadn't thought of it like that, you know, Moxie Man. Susanites, says Amanda. Yes, yes, the Susanites. But not everyone's going to be Let me try that again. Not everyone is going to want to be called a Susan. Where are we going, by the way? Where do you want to go? We can go down the drive and have a look at the empty stockyard and the big bonfire pile that hopefully we're going to get to light next week, but we may not. Or we walk back up the drive and head into the sheep paddock and have a wander there. So where do you want to go? Do you want to go down there or up there? Where do you want to go? Hang on, I'll have to go to the bottom of the chat to see. The Australian coop, says Bobby Moser. Down unders. Oh, yes, yes, that could work. I'm going to have to go back through the chat and write them all down. Cowlicks, the cowlicks. The down unders, though, that's got a bit of a ring. And everyone says we're in the future too. Craig, hello, my friend. We're trying to decide whether we're going to walk down the drive and have a look at the stockyard or walk up the drive and look at what's left of the sheep and look at the view. And I'm hearing thunderstruck every time she says thunderhoof. Yeah, that's exactly, Amanda, what I hear as well. So when I'm walking through the paddock and thunderhoof is like charging down behind me, that is what I'm hearing. And it's scary. It's scary enough hearing thunderhoof charging down behind you, but it's even scarier when you've actually got a musical soundtrack running with it, because the soundtrack adds atmosphere that the hooves on their own just don't seem to manage. So yes indeed. Thunderstruck is a good song. The Hole is amazing. Yes, it is, Tiffany. All right, huge. Where do they sleep? Gosh, I got so far behind. Okay. Where do they sleep? Were you talking about the wombats, Emily, or the cows? The wombats actually live in the burrows. Very large, hairy armadillo. Yes, and round. They're very round. The wombats, yes, they live in the holes. Am I ever going to get to the bottom of this chat? Take care, Susan. Thank you if I lose signal. Oh, thank you, Flo Farm. Hopefully you won't lose signal, but I hope you stay well. Okay, I'm trying to get to the bottom. Country life can be so hard, seeing that cut hay just laying there. Oh, it did, Joy. It really did. Because it would have been the first year in many years where I would have actually made a bit of a profit. And then I only ended up with 187 bales of hay, and I needed a minimum of 400. And that was for my own animals. And then anything on top of that, I would have sold to put money in the bank account. Paul, welcome in, Paul. Lovely to see you. Do I have a fire pit on the property? I do. We're not walking there at the moment, though. It's way off down there in the bush. And I haven't actually used it for a couple of years. It's still there, though. I check it every so often. How am I going to get to the bottom of this chat? I don't think everyone burns like Americans. Oh, Mrs. Paula is here. Thank you, my friend. I see your fire pit is happy to see me. Amanda's saying bullcrap. Right, I'm going to have to scroll to the bottom. I've got to the bottom. I'm already there. It's small. Okay. So, what do we reckon? Now that we've got to the bottom of the chat, tell me, are we going down the drive or up the drive? What do you think? Am I just going to make a decision? I think I'm going to have to make a decision. Of course, it could just be that you have actually been telling me and I've just been... Down the drive, says Paul. Right, we're going. It's not that exciting, really. But you get to see some of the Australian bush, which you don't get to see when you're in a paddock. Well, you do. You get to see the mountains and things. See, there are two stumps in the last fires that came through. There used to be big trees once. But so many of these trees survived the fires. Not the fires just recently, the last big bushfires to come through here though. This whole property was burnt. And I've got a photo, I've got 3-4 photos actually, of, you know where I was when I was showing you the view from the cow paddock? And we were looking across at the mountains and you could see the house, sort of see the house down at the bottom there. In one of the photos, it was taken from that spot and everything is black and smoking. And at the bottom is my gleaming white weatherboard house sitting there. And safe, you know, and the fire got right up to the veranda. It actually licked, the flames licked the side of the house. So there still is, like if you get up into the roof, there are a few spots just around the edges of the roof cavity where there is a bit of charring. And that is from the fires that came through. Oh, Flo Farm says, I'm here for support, but I'm buffering so bad. They probably don't count when I'm gone. I'm sorry you're buffering. I hope no one else is. It's not buffering here on my end. So yes, many of these trees were burned. Like you can see that one there, that's still got black on it. Is that, Kirsty says, oh wow, is that before you owned it? I had bought the place, but settlement hadn't happened, so I hadn't moved in. So yes, I'd bought it, but I hadn't moved in at that point. I mean, look at that one there. That's all black. And you can see that one there, that's all burned. It's quite hollow, but it's alive. Joy is asking Flo Farm if a refresh would help with the buffering. Well, it might do. I know sometimes I have that problem when I'm trying to watch other people's lives, especially if I'm trying to watch too many at once. You know, I'm trying to help with people's watch hours and I've got too many things running and it starts to buffer and then I have to turn a few things off. Look at this wonderful maple. So remember I told you we had a few maples on the property? So this is another one. I don't know what this one is called. I know the one at the top, which we were looking at near the woodshed, is called Festival. And that's because the leaves are so many wonderful colours. You get purples and oranges and reds, and whereas this one just goes yellow. But it's such a beautiful tree. I'm actually glad I came down this way now because you'll get to see it. Look at that. Isn't it wonderful? Life surrounded by heritage trees in a hollow in rural country. Yes. Snapback says it's resilient. Yes, the land is resilient. My Flow Farm says my lines through the trees. Susan, there are magical creatures living there. Yes. Snapback says, is it your fall time now? Yes, it is, my love. It is autumn. Autumn started on the 1st of March here in Australia. You can see a few more autumn trees further down the drive. And I think when we walked down this way, which I don't know if we came down the drive last week, but we certainly came down the week before, but there wasn't as much autumn colour to be seen. Beautiful maples, says Mrs. G. You must be tired at the end of the day. Yeah, it happens. Because like normally, if I'm not doing a live, I would try and get all my farm stuff done at this time of day because it's cooler. And I mean, even in autumn and winter when it can be quite cold, when you're outside doing physical work, you warm up very quickly. So I like to get all my work done early in the morning. And then if I can, I like to be, say, from 1 o'clock in the afternoon onwards. It's nice if I can be inside. And at that point, that's when I can sort of, get fires going if I need to, or try and catch up on YouTube comments, watch videos, vacuum the house. When the kids were younger, I was doing the homeschooling as well, because it was just me doing all of that. So it's busy. And like, even right up until the time you go to bed, like about 10:30, I'll load the wood stove up so it will burn overnight, and bring in some wood and put it in front of the fire in a huge bucket, so that in the morning I've got some nice warm dry firewood there, So right up until the time you go to bed, you're doing something. And obviously there are moments within all of that you're sitting and hopefully getting a little bit of rest here and there. You love the yellow trees. Yes, got a couple of maples down there as well, Japanese maples, I think. And then here you can see 3 trees. So that one there, I believe, is an oak. That one is another large leaf maple. I think it's another festival. But because it's down here in the hollow, it just changes a little bit later than the one up at the house. And then that one there is a crimson ash, because I've got the golden ash up at the shed, and then the crimson ashes. Yeah, so that's the crimson ash. And you see lots of mountains over there. That's our fell in a hole. That's our stockyard. And over there we have a really big bonfire pile. Now if you're here, Steve, you need to have a look at this big bonfire pile. So you go camping every week and you have a fire. I don't have a fire every week, but this thing is sure going to make up for it. Every week I bring stuff down to the bonfire pile. And it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'll let that gate open. Oh, actually I should. There we go. I'll open the gate, put it there. See, let's have a look at the size of this pile. If all goes well, I'll light it next week. But you've got to, it's not something I can necessarily schedule, because I've got to wait for the conditions to be right. Snapback says that's how a tree is looking to fall. Oh, yeah, there's lots of them looking to fall. Oh, the yellow one with the green leaves, that maple. It's a beautiful tree. They're all beautiful. They're all very different and they're all beautiful. Just like us, like people. Everyone is different, but we're all beautiful. I mean, what a boring world it would be if we were all exactly the same, with the same personalities and the same likes and the same dislikes. And yeah, that's big. That's about 3 meters tall, maybe a bit taller. And then it goes all the way around here. See, the greener stuff is some of the prunings I brought up yesterday, or brought down yesterday. Goes all the way around here. Keeps going. Keeps going. Keeps going. So what do you think, Steve? Is it going to be a good fire? Thank you, Mrs. G. I do appreciate you hanging out with me too. With all of us. I want to camp at Susan, says Amanda. Amanda, you are always welcome. I've got enough land here. You could camp. I do have friends that live in Melbourne that come up and camp sometimes. Whoops. I tripped on a stick. And Mike's Adventure Sparks is always saying he's going to fly over and come and camp here and stay for a couple of months. Flo Farm says, I just looked and I'm 3 minutes and 40 seconds behind. Don't worry, honey, I'm right there with you. Explorer Dora is in the house. 58 likes and 26 are here at the moment. Thank you for being here. You've probably come into the live, stayed for about 10 or 15 minutes and left about half an hour ago, and I've only just caught up. But if you're here still, Dora, thank you for being here. So yes, all being well, we'll light this next week. It'll be an exciting moment. A little bit concerned because we've got trees quite close by, but it's always concerning. And of course you need to make sure that it's not windy. If it's windy, there will be no lighting of fires. Looks like Oklahoma with the mountains, says Amanda. Dora says, hi Gina. Yes, I remember Susan being so nervous to do lives. Now she does it like a pro. Well, thank you, Dora. I still look at your lives, Dora, and I just go, wow, you're just so good. You know, Dora has the gift of the gab. She could just talk. Mind you, I'm getting there, you know. I reckon I can talk. I can talk once I get going. When I'm in my flow, and I've got lots of people to bounce off, and it helps. Let's have a look at this oak here before we go back up the drive. But yes, Dora for me is such an inspiration. I just look at her lives and the way she talks and the way she handles herself and interacts, and it's like, wow. Lots of bracken fern. I think bracken fern's everywhere, isn't it? All right. And that, I believe, is an oak. Brian says we need to travel together to her house. Run Free says we did a burn off last week. Yeah, I was so busy. I wanted to do it last week too, actually. It would have been good weather. But we'll see what next week brings. We do have some wet days coming up on, I think it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now I'm walking through the grass here, hoping I don't step on any snakes. All right, so we're getting up close and personal with the leaves of this tree that I believe is an oak. Beautiful colours in it. It's quite high above my head though, and I can't lift. Oh, you can hear them rustling. Isn't that sensational? It's such a beautiful tree. All right, well, Brun says I've got to go now and read storybooks at the kindergarten. Bye, Susan, and bye, everyone. Chat soon. Lovely to catch up, Brun. Oh, thank you, Brun. I hope you have a wonderful day. I love reading storybooks to little kids. It's such a sensational thing to do, isn't it? I hope you have a wonderful time. I'm sure the kids will have a wonderful time. Let's see if I can get back down here without falling. We got lots of tracks through the bush too, but we'll save them for another day. We can't look at everything at the same time after all. Brian says your property is amazing. And Kirsty says, oh, lovely. I hope you have a lovely time. To Brun. And Joyce says, thank you, Brun, for helping the littlies. Now I'm going to leave that gate open because after the live, oh yeah, I'm having a fridge delivered. Wow, I'd forgotten about that. After the live, I'm getting a fridge delivered, and then after that, I've got to do some pruning with the chainsaw, and after that, I've got to bring it all down and dump it on that pile. Oh, what else have I got to do? There's so many things I've got to do. Oh, I've got to pump water this afternoon. I'm going to do that again. I only did an hour yesterday of pumping the water because it was getting late in the day and I didn't want to be doing it in the dark. So I just did an hour. By the time I'd sort of climbed up on top of the water tank and cleaned the filter out. And then you've got to get the pump going and get the water up there and make sure it's the throttle on your pump is set correctly so it doesn't overshoot the water tank completely. By the time you've done all of that, there was only an hour left of daylight. Oh, you can hear the cockatoos. I wish I could show you a white cockatoo, Joy. Oh, Mrs. G, you've got to go, my love. Thank you so much for being here. And look, Joy, there's a cockatoo. Oh, it's over there somewhere. It's in that tree. They're landing in that tree. No, Mrs. G, I do appreciate you being here so much. Thank you very much. I hope you have a lovely evening, a lovely night's sleep, and a wonderful day tomorrow, whatever you get up to. They are birds. Quite right, Em, they are birds. Big and white and very noisy. They're huge birds. Huge birds. Yeah. They are, and I find they are hard to see. And I find when I tip my phone, that's when it gets that message across. It's saying, you can't rotate your phone. It's locked. And then it sort of it fades out the chat. And it fades out the vision. And I can't get it to change back. So I'm not tipping it. Occasionally they do come down in the paddocks and they sit all over the paddocks eating seed and things. But they tend to do that sort of at dawn and dusk. Dino birds, says Amanda. Oh, you've got to go, Tiffany? Have fun in nature, says beautiful property, sweetie. I hope you have a great day / night. Thank you so much. You also. I hope you have you had your dinner yet? Are you going off now to have your dinner? I hope you have a lovely dinner and a lovely evening, a very refreshing night's sleep, and a wonderful day tomorrow. Ah, there's that lovely tree again. Ah, Ruby has to go as well. Ruby from Rushing Wind Mountain says, good night, Susan and chat. Ah. Oh, thanks. Brian made me chili. Oh, yum. I do love a good chili. That sounds wonderful. Well, I hope you really enjoy your chili. And it will be even better because you didn't have to cook it. It's funny, food always tastes different when you don't have to cook it. It's like sandwiches. When you're a kid, your mum makes you sandwiches. Well, if you're lucky. And I can make a sandwich exactly the same way as my mum used to make me a sandwich. And it just doesn't taste the same. Shaz has got to go. Thank you very much, Shaz. I hope you have a wonderful day in Melbourne, Australia. Heather in Iowa says, this is quite the drive. This isn't the whole drive. Where we were down there at the stockyard, it just keeps going. Quite a way further. Quite a way further. But I don't go further down the drive because I don't want people to necessarily know where I live. So I show the top part of the driveway. This is all the top part of the driveway. I mean, you try walking to my letterbox. Ah. So I tend to go to the letterbox like once a week. Because it's a long walk. And I don't have time for that. M-Bug says, right you are, Susan. I know another homesteader and the wife's name is Susan too. I know. Susans are everywhere. A bit like Heathers. There's a lot of Heathers and there's a lot of Susans. When I went to school, there were like 6 or 7 Susans in my class. And so the teacher gave us all slightly different names. So there was a Susanna and a Suzanne and a Susie and a Sue and a Suze and a Susan. Ah. I'm finding it hard to get up this hill today. Oh, you're still here, Emma? Emily? Thank you. Let's get back up this hill. I'm wearing my good jeans today because my work jeans have been slowly tearing for about a month now. But last week, the bum completely fell out of them. Or at least my bum completely fell through them, depending on your point of view. So I've had to start wearing my good jeans. They look fantastic. But let me tell you, they're also tighter. Because the jeans I'm wearing currently are not made for working or walking up steep hills on a farm. So, oh, you can't see it. Do that. We're back to here. Almost at the wooden gate. Oh, the little dandelions. They think it's spring. Gosh, I wonder if my daffodils are coming through. I hope they're not yet. Yes, Joy, they do. And when I went into town, so I went into town last Thursday to get the car looked at. And while the car was there, I went to the thrift shop, which is a St. Vinny's, we call it over here, or St. Vincent de Paul's. But they didn't have anything in my size, which is a first. There's some of the sheepies, very old sheepies. A few mountains back there. Oh my God, we got 58 likes. Now I think that might be a record, or maybe 56 is the record. I think 56 is the record. All right, let's get this gate open. Oh yes, I do too. Dandelions are awesome. They're more down there. There's a few up here. I suppose they're probably getting eaten by the sheep, actually. There they are, the little darlings. And the driveway's getting long. I'm going to have to mow this again soon. All right. All right. Hello, birdies. Oh, there's lots of beautiful rainbow eastern rosellas. Lots of blue and green. Sensational birds. All right, here we go. Let's walk. Joy says, when I was young, the thrifts in small cities, not in towns, weren't yard sales either, only church rummage sales. Okay, I can remember going to church rummage sales. God, that's hard to say. Church rummage sales. It's very difficult to say. Nice trail. Thank you. Kirsty says there are many here now, Joy, but they are getting expensive because of the store rent costs. Yes. Yes, Kirsty, that's true. I think you could still get really good bargains at thrift stores. But it's not, sorry, I need to hold it out further. They're not like what they used to be though. People have cottoned on that they can get some really good bargains. And you still get really good bargains at a thrift store. But, you know, the prices have gone up. And these days also, I wonder if that's a car coming up the drive. Does sound a bit like one. A lot of thrift stores do have valuers on staff now too, like professional valuers. So when things come in, they can get someone to come through and tell them whether things are of value or not. So they don't end up, say, selling a $500 painting for $2.80 or something. Bobby Moses says, do I use a tractor to mow? I have a ride-on mower, so not a tractor. I don't own a tractor. I'm hoping I'll own a tractor one day, but not yet. Heather in Iowa says, good night everyone, have the best day, Susan and the Aussies. Thank you, Heather. That is so awesome. I do appreciate that. We all appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And a wonderful week. Joy says, the thrifts in my city have much less stock because so many sell on Facebook Marketplace. Yes. Yes, that's true. Let me just do that. All right, let's get through this gate. In the winter, when theoretically it's meant to be colder, because all this bush around my paddocks or pastures, depending on where you are in the world, I have a lot of tracks, like vehicle tracks. Although having said that, there's probably trees across most of them, like they need to be periodically cleaned up. But I don't walk them a lot in the warmer months because it's really hard to see the snakes. And the snakes here in this part of Australia are the poisonous ones. And of course, if I'm on a live and I'm chatting to people, I'm not necessarily going to see them. I wonder if I've turned off my chat. Can someone just say something or give me a wave or something like that, just so I know if the chat is still working? I know it was working when I came through the gate. Yes, Em, thank you. It's still working. Thank you very much for that, Em. So here's our new veggie garden that doesn't have anything in it yet, except for 2 apple trees. Look, I uncaged them. 50 by 20 meters. This is. Look at it. Isn't it wonderful? But it's sort of, I need to have a think, because originally this gate was actually going to be down there, but we found that there was some pipes coming through here, so we couldn't. And originally I was going to have a raised sleeper garden bed coming along here, but now of course I can't block this gate. And then the greenhouse, well, there's no greenhouse yet, but see there's a swing set frame over there. That's where I think the greenhouse is going to go. Originally it was going to go in this corner more, but that's where the electricity is coming into the property. There's an electricity cable running under the ground there. And I was going to dig the greenhouse in so it doesn't blow away. And I can't put that where I want it either. But it's a lovely big space. And I'm looking forward to working with it. We've managed to get the rotary hoe going, so there'll be Hopefully a couple of little garden beds going in next week, not raised ones. This will be the only raised one. This is my dwarf apple, the one in the photo on my post. So that's the dwarf Jonathan. And then I moved the compost bin in. That was on the other side of the fence. So that's the compost bin. And then we have a dwarf Granny Smith. And they're the only two things growing in here at the moment, apart from the weeds and the grass. And then we have some wonderful Japanese wind anemones. See those beautiful white flowers, aren't they pretty? Comes in a pale pink too. And another lovely Japanese maple. No, I don't have satellite. I can't afford it. The snakes. Oh, says Artwee. Yes. Yes, indeed. Not nice. Bobby Moses says, hi. No, I don't have satellite. I actually get my... We'll go this way. I get my internet at the moment through a company called Belong. And Belong are with the Telstra network. And Telstra is probably the biggest telecommunications company within Australia. Oh, look at all the lovely autumn colours. And up until this point, I was paying $70 a month for 400 gig. But in about 6 days, they are changing things. Oh, let me get my hat off. I'll turn the camera around. There we are. That's lovely. I can see you again. Yes, in about 6 days, they're changing things so that they're putting their prices up by $10, which is okay. I don't mind paying $80, but they're dropping the available gig from 400 to 250. So I have, for the last few years, I've been paying $70 for 400 gig. And as of next week, I'm going to be paying $80 for 250 gig. And that's still okay. Like, I can manage on 250 gig. Up here where I am in this rural district, like Telstra offer unlimited plans and things like that, but it's not available here. So not everything that's available in this country is available in this district because we're so remote. So I'll just stick with Belong, I think, for the moment. Let me have a look. Louis, welcome in, Louis. Louis in the United States. I just gave you a like. Thank you, Louis. How has your day been? Have you had a good day? Joyce says, how wonderful that you have all this colour around the house. Ah, gotcha, says Emily. And Ace is putting up Louis' link. Cool, just wondered, said Emily. Thank you, Ace, for putting up the links. Thank you, Kirsty, for putting up the links. I thank you sort of as the live goes, because sometimes I do forget at the end of the lives. Hello! Pardon me, I almost choked then. How are you? God's Child TV. I'm really well. How good to have you here. Thank you. Don't mind me as I choke. Oh, I got so excited to see someone come into the chat that I choked. I'm very well. I hope you're well also. Louis says it's so good to see you guys as well. And Louis is doing great. That's awesome. God's Child TV says, good evening from this side of the world to everyone. $80? Is that a lot, Emily? Internet over here is very expensive, I suppose, but nothing else is. I mean, food is cheap and petrol used to be cheap. I mean, compared to what it costs for you guys in America, the cost of living here is quite cheap, except for internet. Internet is quite pricey, but everything else is quite cheap in comparison. So I've been told. Hello, Susan says God's Child TV. Now, God's Child TV, here in our chat, and you don't have to do this, but like we all know each other's names, so I know that my goodness me, Foraging and Urban Farming is Amanda, and Hearts Homestead is Kirsty, and so we all know each other's names. So you don't have to give your name, but if you would like to give your name, you can, but do not at all feel like you have to. It might be easier to say than God's Child TV. Is Elon Starlink popular there? Look, it is with some people, yes. There's a lot of people in this district, because we are in the mountains. Even though I'm lucky, like I'm on the top of a hill, so I'm very lucky that Belong works for me up here. But other people who are in the valleys may not have the same success with it as I do. And so some of them have sort of been forced to use Starlink, but none of them, not many of them, I can't say none of them, but of the people I have spoken to, they didn't want to have to use Starlink because they're not necessarily a fan of who Elon Musk is. So they sort of almost felt like they had no choice in the matter. It was either Starlink or nothing. But sort of, yeah, they're a little bit torn with it. So Starlink is very much available, but I think the bulk of people over here try to avoid it as much as humanly possible. I don't know whether that's the same for you people over there. Oh, it's your last chemo this month. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I hope it continues, you continue to thrive, God's child. That you thrive and do well. Eileen, well, thank you, Eileen. So Eileen is God's Child TV. Many prayers and wishes of health and healing to you. Cancer is such a horrible thing. There's so many horrible things in the world, isn't there? But there's so much goodness as well. Alexander Lapp. It depends on where you are in the USA, the cost of living. Yes. Yes, everyone, please send prayers for healing for Eileen at God's Child TV. Everyone's saying hello to Eileen. Emily is saying, I pay a little over $200 for my iPhone, but I'm also paying for my mum and my sister as well through a company called Verizon. I've probably just completely butchered that, have I? Verizon? That's a lot. I was expecting it would be less, because everyone says that in Australia the cost of the internet is so expensive compared to overseas. So when you sort of, I said $80 and you sort of went, I thought that was because you were thinking it was really expensive, but it's actually not, is it? Wow. Yes, yes, Louis. Congratulations to God's Child TV. That is wonderful. It really is. Coffee Mama. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Coffee Mama is here from Connecticut. Joy says, I'm happy not to give my money to Elon. Yes. Emily says, some people avoid Elon and some people like him. Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, not everyone is for everyone. I mean, you meet people in life or you hear about people in life and yeah, we sort of get opinions and make judgments on who they are and what they stand for. And it's just like what I was saying when we were down at the bonfire pole. Everyone's different. Everyone has their good points and their bad points. Everyone's weird. Everyone's quirky. Everyone is different. And we're all blessed and we're all wonderful. But we're all different. Louis says, yesterday I was glad for another day here on earth. Yes. Everyone is sending Eileen blessings and prayers for recovery. That is wonderful. Louis says, even now that I was extremely tired the night before, we had some very dangerous bad storms. Oh no, that's no good. I'm glad you were okay and that I hope there wasn't too much damage. Natasha says, I'll take your leave, Susan. Enjoy your day. Natasha, thank you so much for being here. I do really appreciate that. I hope you have a lovely evening and a good night's sleep. Oh, aren't we? Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. I do very much appreciate that. And everyone, if you haven't given the live a thumbs up, please consider it. Of course, if you're not enjoying the live, you don't have to. But if you are, then please do. My God, we've actually got 60 likes. We've definitely hit my best now. I've never, ever, ever got 60 likes before. That's just incredible. Thank you all so much. Now let me, okay, so Natasha was going, so bye Natasha, you take care, have a lovely. Eileen says, I have to continue on chemo until bone marrow is possible for me, but I'm happy to be alive. Yes, yes, every day is a blessing. My parents both died when I was a teenager, and I was brought up as an only child. After my parents passed, I found I had a brother, but I didn't grow up having a brother. And so my parents died. My father died first, and then my mother passed sort of within 10 months. And I was still in high school. So I'm very much aware that life is a privilege. And a lot of people take life for granted, and a lot of people don't live life to the full like they can do. But yes, life is a privilege. So I completely get you, Eileen. Not everyone gets to be so lucky. Oh, and it was your birthday yesterday as well, Eileen. Happy birthday for yesterday. My birthday's next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a birthday on my live. I do sorry. I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to do a live on my birthday. So my birthday is on Wednesday. So this live next week on Tuesday, my Tuesday, and then I do a live on Thursday. I don't normally do a live on Wednesday. Some people are telling me I should because it's my birthday. And then some people are saying, no, sit back and relax, enjoy your birthday. So I haven't decided yet. Yay for 60 likes, says Joy. You're a natural. Oh, thank you, Emily. That's okay. Well, I mean, it's not okay. It's not that it's okay, but I mean, everything that happens in life happens for a reason. I'm a big believer in that, even though we don't always see what the reason is at the time. God's child, Eileen, says there was a very destructive storm named Melissa, and it ripped up sections of the island of Jamaica. Oh no. Holla! Hello, my dear. Welcome in. Happy birthday, Susan. Thank you. It's next Wednesday. But thank you, thank you. It's up to you, Susan. Do what your heart tells you. Yeah, I'll probably decide on the day, if I'm perfectly honest. Louis Fuller says back to back in May 8th of 2012. We had a tornado that hit Arlington, Texas, and it was a EF2 tornado. Gosh. I believe so too, says Eileen. Alexander says, I think chemotherapy killed my grandpa. That was in 1992. It was more experimental back then. It was more experimental back then. Things have moved on significantly in the medical field. Yes, Emily, I do watch Chef Civvy. Oh, yeah, I didn't know she was an orphan as well. Oh, well, that's no good. Shall we sit out the front for a few minutes? Or shall we sit here? We can keep sitting here. We can keep sitting here. We've caught up with the chat, which is the main thing. But yeah, look, everything that happens in life, like when I was a teenager and then to lose both my parents, you know, that was a horrible thing. And throughout my life, other horrible things have happened. And at the time, you're so immersed in the emotion of whatever that is. And that's all you can, your only takeaway from it is that emotion. And it's like a mixture of anger and confusion and why me and all that sort of stuff. You know, when horrible things happen to you, it does make you emotional. It makes me emotional, at least. I can't speak for all of you, but it does tend to make people emotional when horrible things happen. But not that my parents dying when I was young was a good thing, but because of that, I live the life that I live now, because I learned to be, what's the word I'm after? Incredibly independent. Because it's not like I could move out of home and then if something went wrong with the plumbing, or I couldn't pay my rent 1 month, or something goes wrong with the car, it's not like I could pick up the phone and say, hey Dad, can you come and have a look at the car? Mum, do you reckon I could just borrow a few dollars off you to pay the rent this month and I'll pay it back to you? And can I bring my washing over? There was none of that. I had to learn to be very self-sufficient, because basically the buck stopped with me, literally. So I had to make things work. I had to learn very quickly how to be an adult. And when I was in my late teens and early 20s, all my friends or my girlfriends that I went to school with, and they were going to pubs and clubs and discos, and yeah, there was disco back then, of an evening, especially, you know, like Friday, Saturday night, and they'd just be partying all weekend and just drinking themselves stupid. Not everyone, but, you know, a lot of them. I never did any of that. I was like working 2 or 3 jobs and trying to get enough money to pay land rates on the house that I ended up getting for my parents. It still had a mortgage on it. So I suddenly went from being a teenager with parents to having to pay a mortgage to keep the house safe, because they'd been paying it off for like decades and I wasn't going to let the bank or anyone else take it away from me. So I was working all these jobs trying to keep the money coming in to pay the bills. And so I learned to be very independent. And I think on the whole, that has been a good thing. Sometimes I think being so independent does have a few drawbacks. I think some people find me very confronting because I am independent. But to be honest, I guess that's actually more a them problem than it is a me problem. But yeah, yeah. And that was a horrible thing. That's got to be the most horrible thing that happened to me, was my parents passing away when I was so young. But I've made something of it, and it has made me the person that I am today. And I'm sure they're still with me. I'm sure they're still with me. I talk to my mum and my dad and my auntie Beryl and my pa and my grandmother. I talk to them all every day, just like I talk to God every day. Um, you know, they're still around. I still feel them in my heart. I know they're here, and I know they're watching out for me. But speaking of things, let me just catch up in the chat, because I reckon, oh, I dropped away before saying love you all. Amanda, thank you. Amen to that, Louis. Says Eileen. Delighted Acres is here. Thank you, my friend, for being here. If anyone is in the chat and hasn't given it a thumbs up yet, please consider doing so. If you're not enjoying the chat, then you don't need to either, but it would be nice. My friends, I'm probably going to close the chat down in about 5 minutes. So if there's anything that you want to be saying to anyone else, any conversations you've been having that you need to finish up, now would be a time to start doing that. I've got to make room on this veranda for them to bring a fridge through and take the old fridge out. Joy says, so true. Most things have a positive side if you live long enough to see it. Yes, that's true. And you sure had to grow up fast, dear. I did. And look, getting back to that briefly, I don't want to harp on it, but we're going back to it. Sometimes it might take you over a decade, maybe even more, to actually see, to be able to look back at an event. It's not like something horrible is going to happen, something really unpleasant in your life, and then next week you're going to look back at it and go, actually, that had some real positive impacts on my life. Sometimes you're lucky and you can see it a week later, but depending on what the event was and how it affected you, it can take 10, 15, 20 years for you to be able to see, to be able to look back on it and go, actually, look, it doesn't take away from the fact that it was an unpleasant experience, that it was horrible, but I can still look back on it and think there was some good that came of that. So yeah, you can never necessarily expect that you're going to see sort of instant results, I guess. Louis says, because you could be right here, right now, and then tomorrow it could be, yes, you just don't know, do you, Louis? Oh, Kirsty says, I love you too, Amanda. And I love Amanda, and I love Kirsty, and I love Ace. I love everyone here. Alexander Lapp says, I started a family at age 21. I had to grow up fast. Emily says, thank you for showing us around your farm again. Thank you for being here, Emily. I really enjoyed everyone's company. Oh, and you got to see your cows. Oh, I didn't call them in French. You wanted me to call them. Merited Shades of Light. Welcome in, my friend. Hang on, I need my glasses. Knowledge. Hello, Knowledge. Welcome in. Lovely to have you here. I'm Susan. Good to meet you. I didn't realize I didn't say hi since I'd been here. Well, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it very much. We are a lovely group of people. Hello, everyone, says Knowledge. Merited Shades of Light is saying hi, Ace. Hollis says, we just have to accept that things happen just the way they are supposed to at that particular time. Yes, that's true. We are not across the big plan, the big picture. We might think we are, but we're not. Yes, I think you are also. You are, Meritage, I'm sure. Oh, and I can't remember. Is it Janine? I'm so sorry. I've probably got your name wrong. But something's telling me it's Janine. Knowledge says, this is my support channel, using this channel to give you extra support. I am, oh, okay. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Well, my friends, I think it's probably time that I close down this live. We have been sitting here and talking now for a fair while. And 2 hours and 15 minutes to be exact. Ace has put up her own link. So everyone, if you're not familiar with Ace, the wondrous Ace, who spends all her time in everyone's lives, not just mine, putting up people's links and different bits and pieces, please check her out. She's a lovely lady. Also, the same with Kirsty. Kirsty spends all her time in my life putting up everyone else's links, hopefully her own as well. Kirsty has the most incredible channel and has just recently, in the last probably 6 or 7 hours, put out another new video. I cannot keep up with her videos. I mean, I can, I watch them, but what I mean is I'm just in awe of how frequently Kirsty can put out videos. She amazes me. She amazes me. But Kirsty has done this fantastic video on homemade bug repellent. Incredible video. If you haven't seen it, go over and check out Heart's Humble Homestead and check out that video. I'm certainly going to be making some of that bug repellent too, let me tell you. Ace says, thank you so much. I love you. And Emily says, now you can go and have lunch and dinner, Susan. Yes, I will. Oh, and thank you, Kirsty, so much. So, everyone, I would like to thank you for being here and spending some of your time with me. I really appreciate you taking time out of your days to be here. Craig, hello, Craig. Thank you so much for being here as well. Craig says, have a wonderful day. Always enjoy the walk and the view around the homestead. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you all have... Thank you for being here and spending time with me. Thank you for taking time out of your day. I hope you all have a wonderful evening if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, and that you have a good night's sleep, and that tomorrow you can all wake up refreshed and happy and healthy and have a wonderful week. And for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere like me, have a great day. Have a great day. Have a great week. And I appreciate you all so very much. I love you all so very much. This is a fantastic community. And yes, we need to have a name for the community. I don't think Susanites was quite it. Amanda, you'll have to put your suggestions in the comments. If anyone has a suggestion on what we can call our community. Amanda had another recommendation. It wasn't Susanites, it was after that. She says, oh, I'm going to have to go back through the chat and find out. But anyway, I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Holla. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, I'll be back in a couple of days. We'll have another sort of a bit of a wander. And otherwise, maybe on Saturday, which is your Friday night, when we do our cooking segment, our indoor live. Not sure what I'm going to make yet. I might make a raspberry coconut slice, but I haven't decided yet. I love your endings, says Artwee. Thank you. They just keep going on and on and on, don't they? Bye, everyone. You take care, and I'll see you again soon.